Education's really the primary responsibility of local entities and the state government. The federal government, their role in funding education is limited in scope. Basically, if you read a lot of the articles, they actually just help to supplement that funding. So anytime we have the ability to obtain federal funding, we try our best to secure those funds. In our district, federal funding accounts for, on an annual basis, about $3.5 to $4 million a year. So it helps subsidize a number of our operations, from food service operations to our special needs population, those students we serve, as well as our disadvantaged students. So those are really the three general areas. Actually, we receive several different types of federal funding, but the major two programs that are subsidized by federal funding in our district are Title I funding and Title VI-B funding.
In 1965, the Elementary and Secondary Education Act was signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson. So Title I was actually one of 5 titles that were part of that law. Lyndon Johnson actually signed that law with his kindergarten teacher in front of a one-room schoolhouse, which is, I love the story behind that. It just, he believed in education and public education, and really that was signed into law as it was considered the war on poverty. It was, what could the federal government do to provide states with funding to help supplement education for students in poverty.
There's some certain eligibility requirements. So some of the demographics they look at are typically on the socioeconomic side, and those are the things. And that's basically how much funding you receive versus maybe a neighboring type of school district. Filling out the free and reduced application is important, not only for ongoing food service funding, because they always usually look at data from the past year. So even though this year is sort of a unique situation with COVID, where we've received federal subsidies to provide lunches to all students regardless of need, they're going to use this year's data as it stands right now to allocate our amount of funding for next year. So it is extremely important that we maintain the process and we receive the participation from our students and parents.
The other part of what's really unique about Title is the good that it does for our kids. The way our district utilizes those funds, we look for those children that are in most need of support with literacy, which, you know, we spend a lot of time teaching kids how to read so that they can read to learn. So one definitely comes before the other, and any support that we can provide students to make that happen, we certainly want to try to do that.
Title I is a federally funded program, and it's used to bring reading instruction to students in elementary. So this can be once a day for 30 minutes, and depending on the grade, we do different things. Our biggest strategy is Orton-Gillingham, which is a multi-sensory approach to learning and reading. And then as they get older, the third graders do more like comprehension and test prep and things like that. The whole school reads the same story. So we have like a calendar of what chapters we need to read. A lot of times teachers will record the reading so kids can watch them at home. So it's kind of like to connect reading with home and at school. We'll have a big kickoff celebration, and then at the end we'll have a literacy night where everyone comes to school and we do different activities based on the story. It's a lot of fun for everyone. Well, some students I've had from kindergarten to third, so I get to build great relationships with them because I've worked with them for more than 1 year. So it's nice to see how they change over the year, and I have like so much background knowledge on what they need and what we can focus in on. And then sometimes going with me for a year, they just need a little boost and then they're ready to stay in their classroom.
If you could potentially qualify, we certainly would encourage you to go ahead and go to our website. Under Resources for Parents, there's an application process. You print that application out, fill it out, and get it over to the board office, and then we will take care of the rest.